Hello, folks. This is Joe from MIGeekScene. I'm standing here with Mark from the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Mark, how are you doing on this cold morning?
Good. Hi, kids.
He did that again. That's great.
Yes.
Well, Mark, obviously I'm here to talk to you about the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. When and where will it be this year?
Grand Rapids Comic-Con will be held October 16th through 18th, 2 weeks in at the DeVos Place, downtown Grand Rapids.
Obviously, that's a different change of venue from last year, which was at the Deltaplex. Mark, why are we now at DeVos Hall this year?
Well, if you were there last year, which I know you were, you would know that it was packed to the rafters, and it was bordering on unsafe. It was way too full. And so we really wanted to get it downtown. That's part of the long-term goal anyway, was to make sure that we are downtown. And so we had the opportunity, worked out really well for us because they really didn't have anywhere to put us, and we thought we were going to have to go through another year at the Deltaplex, and then a conference that had a 10-year contract canceled. And they told me, this is your weekend, take it or leave it. And I was like, I'll take it. So here we are.
Yeah, wasn't last year's event in November?
Yes, weekend before Thanksgiving. So we moved it up a month. For the cosplayers, that should be a lot better because it's not going to be anywhere near as cold.
Yeah, I would agree. I still had a good time last year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the layout will definitely be better than the sometimes bottlenecked portions of the Deltaplex.
I would think so, yeah. Well, it's the first year there, so we're going to have to see what, how it works out and how it materializes. So, but we think the layout we have is pretty solid. And, and the DeVos Place is known for putting on very good events that flow real well and operate real well. So we're trusting them in a lot of the layout and design, and we'll see how it goes.
It is a big place.
It's a big place, and we're going to have a lot more of it in the near future. So,
all right. Well, speaking of a lot more, let's talk about guests, because you
Yes.
have more guests this year than you did last year.
Yes, we do. Last year we had 11 or 12. This year, in terms of the Hollywood people, we have 16. And the comic artists last year, I think we had 16 to 18, and this year we have 23
Who are
that
some
are
of,
nationals.
Who are some of the guests that will be here?
Well,
We can start with Hollywood.
we'll start with Hollywood. Okay. There's a nice variety this year, ranging from classic stuff from TV, such as William Catt from The Greatest American Hero and Marina Sirtis from Star Trek The Next Generation, to stuff that's on TV right now, such as Anthony Kerrigan, who is Victor Zsasz in Gotham, Keith Allen, who is Murphy on Z Nation, Katrina Law, who's Nisha El Ghul on Arrow. So we've got quite a bit going on. And for the anime people and the gamers, there's also an unusual amount compared to last year, because in terms of the anime people, we have Trina Nishimura, who is Mikasa on Attack on Titan. And gamers, there's a few voice actors for them too, Amber Goldfarb and Cass Anvar, who are the lead male and female voices from Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
And Cass has also done Halo 4 and Black Ops 2 and man, his list is huge. And we also have Tony Amendola coming in, which is a neat one to cross over a lot because he hits that more classic stuff with Stargate SG-1. He hits the current TV stuff with Continuum. And he also hits the gaming stuff because he's one of the lead voices in World of Warcraft.
All right. What about the Artist Alley this year?
We have a lot of national artists coming in this year. The big one is Neil Adams, who
Yes.
Anybody who knows comic book history knows that he may not be Stan Lee, but he sits at the same dinner table. He's the guy who redesigned Batman in the late 60s into the character we know today. He also also did the X-Men redesign. So he's a specialist in, a lot of the stuff today is directly the result of Neil Adams. But we also got, it's not a one-pony show, though. I mean, speaking of ponies, Katie Cook from My Little Pony, who is the writer of that franchise, is going to be here.
Nice segue, Mark.
There we go, yeah. I didn't plan that, I swear. We also have a Mike Grell, which is a great one. He wrote a series called Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters, and also drew it.
Okay.
And Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters was the basis of the show Arrow that we all know now. So that's where that show came from, was that series. So he's hugely influential right now in that show for television. Also, Ethan Van Sciver's coming in, who is the guy who, wrote the comic book that was later turned into the 2009 Green Lantern film. And Ryan Stegman from Superior Spider-Man and Wolverine is coming. And a neat one, John Giange, which is one I'm going to encourage people to meet. And he is a specialist with Industrial Light and Magic, and everybody knows them for doing all the special effects for superhero films. Well, this is the lead guy who does effects for numerous superhero films. He did the first 2 Captain Americas. He did both of the Avengers. He did the first 2 Iron Man films. He did Pacific Rim. He did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the reboot that came out last year. And also did the religious film Noah. And if you've seen that, you know, from a special effects perspective, that was pretty spectacular as well. And he just told me his newest project, he's going to be the lead designer for Captain America 3.
Fair enough. What sort of events will be going on this year?
Well, that's been expanded too, because instead of 2 rooms for programming, there's 7. So some people are going to have a hard time deciding what they're going to see and what they're not going to see. There's a whole room of nothing but fan panels. Well, pretty much a whole room of nothing but fan panels. I think I had to squeeze 1 seminar in there, but outside of that, it's all fan-oriented stuff.
Not a seminar.
Yeah,
No,
well, you know. And there's also pretty much everybody who's coming in as a guest is going to do some kind of panel during the weekend. Not everyone. Ethan Van Sciver's not doing one because he's hot on a deadline right now, and David DeGrand isn't going to do one either, but pretty much everybody else. All the Hollywood people will be. So a couple of the artists are under some tight deadlines, and instead of canceling, we'd rather have them at the show. So we'll cancel their seminar to make it easier for them.
Fair enough.
So, and then they're going to, I know like Ethan, he's going to bury himself in his hotel room in between shows so he can get this deadline done for, I think it's DC's doing something for.
All right. Any after parties?
Tons of them. That's one thing that we're encouraging people this year that's completely different from the Deltaplex is we've said we were going to start doing some serious after parties, and this year is the year it starts. The big one, which is an all ages one, is Saturday night. The Grand Rapids Symphony is going to perform the 2009 music from the movie Star Trek.
Yes.
And they're going to show the movie behind, and they're going to play all the music, and that's going to be really, really neat. That's a really neat, cool piece. The Grand Rapids Griffins, it's their opening weekend, so we're encouraging people to go down and check out the hockey games that are more all ages. For you 21 and over types who like cold, frothy, adult-style beverages, there is several parties for you, too. Hollywood Undead is playing Friday night at the Intersection, which is a cool show. And the Bob is going to run 3 days of after parties that are all costume-themed after parties. So we would encourage you to check that out and wear your costume and go hang out and have some fun with that. Also for artists, Flanagan's, which is a big Irish bar in Grand Rapids, just a block from the Amway, they are going to be hosting Saturday night a artist party that's going to be exclusively for artists. It's going to be hosted by Dirk Manning, who's one of the artists of the show. And it's just basically going to be pass out business cards, do karaoke, and network.
So basically no one from the public can go to that one.
Well, we're pretty much planning it to be an artist-only kind of thing, yeah.
Unless you get special invites. Not me, but nonetheless, only if you get special invites.
Okay. Yeah, but, there's also the VIP after party for those who have VIP tickets. There'll be an after party at the Amway Grand Plaza Saturday night, which is fully catered. And we're going to invite all the Hollywood celebs to that. There are a few VIP tickets left, so if that's something you want to go to, you'll have to go to the website and grab one of those tickets. So there's a lot going on in terms of after stuff. So we're encouraging people, stay downtown, and if you live a little far away and plan on, tipping a few, too many, you'll want to get a hotel room downtown, and you're going to want to do that soon because I know the Amway is more or less gone. At least that's what they're telling me.
Oh, I live in Grand Rapids, so I don't really have to book a hotel room.
Yeah, but there's
a
lot
help you on that.
We're getting a lot of people that will though, and but I know the Holiday Inn just down the street has some rooms left. The Riverfront Hotel on Ann Street has quite a bit has some rooms left, although they're filling quickly.
So basically, get a spot while you can.
The hotels, yeah, you really want to get on that if you're planning on a hotel room and you haven't done it yet, you want to get on that. And since there's a lot of after parties, I'd encourage you, especially if you're planning on partying, get a hotel room. Be safe, get that and get a cab.
Always be responsible, folks.
Be responsible, yep.
Well, Mark, if people were interested in checking more about the Grand Rapids Comic-Con from this video, since you already spoke at length about a lot of the stuff that's going on, but you
Sure.
didn't speak about everything, where can they go online to find out more about the show?
www.grcomiccon.com. That's grcomiccon.com.
All right, and what would you like to say to the folks out there who've already attended the previous events as we wrap this up?
Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. We really do. It's been a very humbling experience because when we started this, it was just at a little elementary school and we had $7,500 and that was it. And it's been amazing to see it grow and mature and turn into what it's turned into. And it's been very humbling. And, it's the community show. I have to, somebody has to run it and somebody has to keep track of the accounting and all that kind of stuff, but it's really the community show. It really is. And it's about the local fan base and it's about all the local clubs and all that kind of stuff. We're really big into that. And, so we do encourage people, join the Facebook page, please do. And I do read what you want. I really sincerely do. The reason Stuart Sager's at the show is real simple. This guy was not on my radar at all, not even close. And I had an 11-year-old kid wrote me a nice little letter. This is my favorite artist. I'd like to have him. Please get him. And I thought, I'll look into it. And it turned out he lived in Indianapolis. It wasn't that far away. The money was reasonable. He wanted to do it, and we booked him. So we want people to tell us what they want. Katrina Law, also the same thing, direct result of people giving suggestions. So
Awesome.
We went and chased it. And we got it.
All right. Well, Mark, once again, thank you for granting an interview. We already did one prior to this a few months back. Well, folks, this is Joe from MIGeekScene. Take it easy.
Bye, kids.